Herpdy derpdy was a pastry, a warm, soft, frozen rectangle of goodness. Every day he took his stroll across the Great Wall of China. The wall towered above everyone in China because they all are midgets. In fact, this wall is so high that when he walked across, hardly anyone could see him. Until one morning, Queen Derpina, a very plump woman, reached for her son's binoculars and begun to look out the window. Suddenly, when she saw Herpdy running across the great wall, she begins to drool with hunger. At the cookie dough-filled pastry, Queen Derpina yelled to King Derp, "Go get me that Pop-Tart," she shouted. "I will send my men. King Derp exclaimed. The men rushed over to the wall, obtaining a large toaster that the queen had kept in the garage for years. When they finally reached the wall, they set the toaster at the bottom of the wall and sat awaiting. Finally, after hours of waiting, came Herpdy. They stopped him to talk to him and convince him to jump down, that it wasn't safe. "Jump down here, into the slot. It will be like jumping onto a trampoline. It will be really fun," shouted one of the king's knights. "Why should I? I'm perfectly fine," Herpdy shouted. Well, for one, because I'm cool," the knight said hesitantly. Herpdy then started to take off running across the wall once again. Following the previous day, Herpdy was taking his morning stroll across the wall, when suddenly he spotted men in small, dull gray armor. As he approached the objects closer, he spotted the group of knights once again. He began to pick up his pace, only to find out an enormous rod was being jabbed at him. "Stop this fooling around, lad," yelled one of the elderly knights. "I will never come down from this wall," shouted Herpdy in reply. "So be it. Let the game begin," one of the younger knight muttered to himself. The queen noticed the commotion and took out her tanning chair while watching from afar, taking notice of the large toaster pastry running for his life, until she realized she saw 5 German shepherds having been released after Herpdy. "Get him, my precious hounds," shouted the queen in triumph, as the guards ran alongside the wall on horseback, getting dangerously close to the toaster, hoping he will stumble. Suddenly, a large boom appeared with fireworks, distracting Derpdy. Derpdy then began to stumble while looking for an escape route. He thought he saw a metal building to hide in, and so he jumped. Little did he know he's just jumped into the queen's trap at last. And the queen got even fatter and lived happily ever after.